We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, verses 4 to 16. We'll read verse 16 on the board, the Sanskrit, and then we'll go back to verse 4. Meneti durlabam punsam sarvam tat svapna samstutam vidvan vibhava nirvanam tama vishati yat puman. So we will read from verse 4 and then we'll end with verse 16. Tam tatam samshaya sukte dve vaishvadeve mahatmana isvaryanto tanam satra parisheshitamatmana dasyante te tan archa tata sakritavan yata tasmai rattaya yusargam te satta parishesanam. Nabhaga's father continued, "Go to those great souls and describe 2 Vedic hymns pertaining to Vaishvadev, when the great sages have completed the sacrifice and are going to the heavenly planets. They will give you the remnants of the money they have received from the sacrifice. Therefore, go there immediately." Thus Nabhaga acted exactly according to the advice of his father, and the great sages of the Angira dynasty gave him all their wealth and then went to the heavenly planets. Tam kaschid svikarishyantam burusha krishna darshanam uvachato taropyetya mamedam vastukam pasu. Thereafter, while Nabhaga was accepting the riches, a black-looking person from the north came to him and said, "All the wealth from the sacrificial arena belongs to me." Verse 7. Mamedam rishibir datam iti tarhis mamanava syanau te pitari prashna vishtavam pitaram yatha. Nabhaga then said, "These riches belong to me. The great saintly persons have delivered them to me." When Nabhaga said this, the black-looking person replied, "Let us go to your father and ask him to settle our disagreement." In accordance with this, Nabhaga inquired from his father, "Yagyavastugatam sarvam uchistam rishaya kachid chakrahi bhagam vijaya sadeva sarvamarhati." The father of Nabhaga said, "Whatever the great sages sacrificed in the arena of the Daksha Yajna, they offered to Lord Shiva as his share. Therefore, everything in the sacrificial arena certainly belongs to Lord Shiva." Nabhagastam pranamyaha teveshakhiravastukam idyaha me pita brahman shirasa tvam prasadaye. Thereupon, after offering obeisances to Lord Shiva, Nabhaga said, "O worshipful Lord, everything in this arena of sacrifice is yours. This is the assertion of my father. Now, with great respect, I bow my head before you, begging your mercy." Yatte pita varadharmam tam chasatyam prabhashase dadami te mantadisho gyanam brahma sanatanam. Lord Shiva said, "Whatever your father has said is the truth, and you are also speaking the same truth. Therefore, I, who know the Vedic mantras, shall explain transcendental knowledge to you." Verse 11. Grihana javinam dattam matsatta parishesitam ityukvantar hito rudro bhagavan dharmavatsala. Lord Shiva said, "Now you may take all the wealth remaining from the sacrifice, for I give it to you." After saying this, Lord Shiva, who is most adherent to the religious principles, disappeared from that place. Ya etat sangsmaret prata sayam cha susamahita kavir bhavati mantragyo gatim chaiva tatatmana. If one hears and chants or remembers this narration in the morning and evening with great attention, he certainly becomes learned, experienced in understanding the Vedic hymns, and expert in self-realization. Nabhagarambarisho bhun mahabhagavata kriti naspishad brahmashapopiyam napadihata kvachit. From Nabhaga, Maharaj Ambarish took birth. Maharaj Ambarish was an exalted devotee, celebrated for his great merits. Although he was cursed by an infallible Brahmana, the curse could not touch him. Shri Rajovacha Bhagavan Shotumichami Vajashestasya Timata Naprabhud Yattanir Mukta Brahmadanda Dhiratyaya. King Parishit inquired, O great personality, Maharaj Ambarish was certainly most exalted and meritorious in character. I wish to hear about him. How surprising it is, the curse of a Brahmana, which is insurmountable, could not act upon him. Shri Shukuvacha Ambarisha Mahabhaga Saptati Bhavatim Mahim Avyayam Chashyam Lavdva Vibhavam Chatulam Bhuvi Meneti Durlabam Punsam Sarvam Tat Swapta Samstutam Vidvan Vibhava Nirvanam Tamo Vishatiyat Puman. Shukadeva Goswami said, Maharaj Ambarish, the most fortunate personality, achieved the rule of the entire world, consisting of 7 islands, and achieved inexhaustible, unlimited opulence and prosperity on earth. Although such a position is rarely obtained, Maharaj Ambarish did not care for it at all, for he knew very well that all such opulence is material. Like that which is imagined in a dream, such opulence will ultimately be destroyed. The king knew that any non-devotee who attains such opulence merges increasingly into material nature's mode of darkness. Purport. For a devotee, material opulence is insignificant, whereas for a non-devotee, material opulence is the cause of increasing bondage. For a devotee knows that anything material is temporary, whereas a non-devotee regards the temporary so-called happiness as everything and forgets the path of self-realization. Thus, for the non-devotee, material opulence is a disqualification for spiritual advancement. Mukam karati vachalam bhangam langate girim yaktipantamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Om Jnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Queen Kunti prays, Janmaishraya Shuta Shibir Tamanamada Puman Naiva Hatyavidatum Vaitlam Akinchana Gocharam. My Lord, your lordship can be easily approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. Because one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot address you with sincere feeling. So yes, how to chant Hare Krishna. If you have a lot of money, you might be worried and thinking all about your money. If you're very beautiful, you may be thinking how you can control people with your beauty. If you have a lot of knowledge, you can think, well, yeah, my knowledge will protect me. So you cannot chant, it's hard to chant feelingly if you have material opulences. But if you're a devotee, it's different. We have our example, our Ambarish Das, devoted disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He's like this Ambarish. He has a lot of opulence. He's the great-grandson of Henry Ford. So he has unlimited, he has not as much as this Ambarish, but according to the people of this planet, he has a lot of opulence. Millions of dollars, maybe even billions, I don't know. But it's going down. Yeah, he has billions of dollars. So, but what is he doing? Of course, he's using that for the service of Krishna. But not only that, he's so humble, he's going begging for more money to build a temple in Mayapur. He's going temple to temple, city to city, begging. And he's a millionaire and he's begging. So isn't that amazing for a devotee? It's not enough to give his money. He also wants everybody to share in building the temple in Mayapur. So the difference between opulence for a non-devotee, it's temporary, it will be lost at death, but the opulence of a devotee is never lost. Krishna protects. He says, I protect what you have and I carry what you lack. So the devotee uses opulence without attachment. But for the non-devotee, money is the honey. And we see there are some examples But unless the money is used in a spiritual way for Krishna, the same money becomes a cause of distress. I can give you 3 examples. In America, they have the lottery. I think you have the lottery here also. And one person, a 16-year-old, won $3 million. So what did she do with the money? $700,000 for designer clothes, and more on drugs, partying, drinking, expensive cars, and within 6 years, her money was finished. And she said, I honestly wish I never won the lottery money, and knowing what I know now, I should have just given it all back. So it was a cause of distress. It's a cause of distress if you don't give it to Krishna. Another man, he won $360 million in the lottery. And he found many new friends, but he was lonelier than he ever was before. And he spoiled his granddaughter, and he got complaints about her arrogant nature. And she took an overdose of drugs and died because of this money. One more example. Another man, he won the lottery, and as soon as he heard the news, he had a heart attack and died. So this is the nature of money in this material world. If you don't use it for a spiritual cause, and that is what Chanakya Pandit says, that we have our opulence in this life, so we should spend it for a spiritual cause. Otherwise, it will be taken away from us at the time of death, if not before. And so why? People are taking Sita from Ram. People are taking Radha from Krishna. People are taking Lakshmi from Narayani. There's a verse in Bhagavatam in the 6th canto about Lakshmi. It describes her. She's a reservoir of spiritual qualities, and Narayani manifests, and he's the enjoyer of these qualities. In fact, he is the super soul. He's the Lord in our heart. And Lakshmi is the form of our bodies, senses, and minds. So the bodies, the senses, the minds we have, they're an expansion of Lakshmi. So if we use it for ourselves, then we're in trouble, and we will get a reaction. So that's why we use our body, we use our senses, we use our mind in the service of Krishna. So Bhagavatam, later on in Bhagavad-Gita, explains that if you take this useless body and use it for Krishna, then you're the cleverest of all people. The devotees are the most clever, because they take something material and use it to get something spiritual. So this body is material, but we can spiritualize it if we use it for Krishna's service. And if we trade in our material body, we get Krishna. So it's a good deal. And we get Krishna in return. Krishna gives himself to one who is a Kinchana Gochara, as we heard from Kunti. Now, if we go back to the 1st canto, it says, Tapa shocham daya satyam iti parakite gita atarmam shais chayo bhagna smaya sangama daistava. In the age of Satya, your 4 legs, it's the 4 legs of religion, were established by the 4 principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. But it appears that 3 of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust for women, and intoxication. So here's a description of modern civilization. Prabhupada says, modern civilization and economic development are creating a new situation of poverty and scarcity, with the result of blackmailing the consumers' commodities. So we see this in America, although it's supposed to be the richest country. 50 million people are on food stamps. They don't have money for food. And I know my son gets food stamps, but they only last for 10 days. And then for the rest of the month, he has to eat very khichdi and whatever. So it's very difficult to live in the United States, the country, the rich country. So Prabhupada said, if the leaders and rich men of society spend 50% of their accumulated wealth mercifully for the misled mass of people and educate them in God consciousness, the knowledge of Bhagavatam, certainly the age of Kali will be defeated in its attempt to entrap the conditioned souls. So Prabhupada says, by pride, either artificial or real, the resultant action of austerity is spoiled. By too much affection for female association, cleanliness is spoiled. By too much addiction to intoxication, mercy is spoiled. And by too much lying propaganda, truthfulness is spoiled. Revival of Bhagavad Dharma can save human civilization from falling prey to evils of all description. So we know that Kali, he came 5,000 years ago. As soon as the day, the moment, the hour that Krishna left this planet, Kali came and he entered. And Parikshit was ready to kill him, but Kali surrendered, and so Parikshit saved him. And he said, okay, now go out of my kingdom. But Kali begged him, no, give me some place. He said, okay, you can stay wherever there is illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating in the slaughterhouses. You can stay in those 4 places. But Kali said, well, you know, in your kingdom, there are no such places, so give me another place to stay. So he said, yes, wherever there is hoarding of wealth, you can stay in that place. And that's why these people who won the lottery, they couldn't enjoy the money, they couldn't have it because Kali was there. Kali, the king of irreligion. So if wealth is accumulated, Kali will stay there. So for grihastas, for our married people, 50% of the accumulated wealth should be given in charity. Of course, if you follow our grihasta vision team, they say, okay, 5 to 15%. They're a little bit more merciful. But for the grihastas, charity is very important. Although in this first canto it's described that daya is for grihastas, mercy is for grihastas. But if we go to the third canto, the 4 pillars of religion are described as vidya, dhanam, tapa, satyam. So education, charity, penance, and truth, the 4 legs of religion. And to learn this, there are 4 orders of life. So it's very interesting that Prabhupada says in the purport, at the beginning of creation, when Brahma created the 4 orders of life, the brahmachari, student, grihasta, married life, vanaprastha, retired, and sannyasi, the renounced order of life, then these 4 orders are meant to uphold the 4 legs of religion. For the brahmacharis, there is education or cleanliness. For the grihastas, for the married people, there is daya, mercy, or dhanam, charity. For the vanaprasthas, the retired people, there is austerity for spiritual life. And for the sannyasis, there is truthfulness, preaching all over the world. And so if we don't use our wealth for Krishna's benefit, for the spiritual path, then we will certainly get distress. And so at the time of death, ahanyahani bhutani gachantiha yamalayam sheshastavaramichanti kim aschayam ataparam. The most wonderful thing is that everybody thinks, he sees everybody is dying around him, but he thinks, it will not happen to me. I know when you're young also, you don't think you're going to be old. You think, yeah, I see these old people are here. And in fact, our hippie slogan was, don't trust anyone over 30. But somehow we trusted Prabhupada. I don't know how that Prabhupada gained our trust, because he was the real thing. He practiced what he preached. If he told us to get up early, he got up earlier. We had to get up at 3:30. He got up at 1:30 to write his books, to write these books. When we would go on morning walk with Prabhupada, he would go faster than us. He was in his 70s, we were in our 20s. And we would look at each other and think, we're getting tired. How does he do it? So, yes, you get spiritual strength. And this is a spiritual wealth. But unfortunately, people do not appreciate spiritual wealth. They're after material wealth. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Amana durlabha manava deho, payaki kora bhavana keho, evina bojile joshura shuta, charame pori velache. You have achieved such a rare human body, but you do not care for this gift. You remain not serving the darling of Yashoda and slowly fall through your last moments to death. Udito tapana hoi leasto dinagelo boli hoi bebasto tabekeno eve alasha hoi no bachahito yarache. With every rising and setting of the sun, a day passes and is lost. So why do you remain idle and not serve the Lord in the heart? So it's described that the sun is taking away the lifespan of every single person in this world except those who are listening to the glories of Krishna, those who are chanting Hare Krishna. In fact, the sages have invited Yamaraj, the king of death, to Bhagavatam class. He likes to hear katha. So he's invited to this Bhagavatam class. So as long as you're staying in class, you won't die. You will not be, Yamaraj will not take you. So that's why it's good to come to class. Good to come to Bhagavatam class. And it all started 5,000 years ago with the sages of Naimisharanya. So at death, everything is taken away. All you have left is the good things you did. The devotional service that will stay with you. That will stay with you. You take your karma with you, and you take your, when we're as devotees, we don't do karma. Krishna says in Gita, I take away, mokshiyashami, mashucha, I take away all your pop, I take away all your sinful activities, so you don't have to worry. So that's why we like to worship Krishna. He's guaranteeing us to go back to home, back to Godhead, if we give this life for Him. So what can we give? There is a verse. You might think, well, this is too difficult to give the life for Krishna. This is too much. So there's a verse in Bhagavatam 10:22-35. Eta vaj janma safa yam dehiram iha dehishu pranarartartya vacha sheya acharanam sada. So there are 4 things you can give. First, your life. Now you may say, well, no, I can't do that. That's too much. How can I I have so many things to do with this life. Why, how can I give it to Krishna? Even though Krishna is asking in Bhagavad-Gita, surrender to me. But no, you may say no. Okay, that's all right. There's one more thing you can give. Prana. If you can't give prana, give artha. Give some money. Give a donation. That will help you. That will help you progress in spiritual life. But you may say, well, I'm very poor. I cannot manage to give donation. There's another thing you can give. Prana, artha, dhiya. You can give your intelligence. You can help plan festivals. You can help plan how to distribute books. You can help plan how to serve devotees, how to clean the temple, how to do the deity worship. You can meditate on the deities and think, oh, tomorrow I will dress them like this. I used to be a pujari, and we would think like that. We would think, oh yeah, I'm going to put the flowers there tomorrow. You would start thinking, planning, using your intelligence. I didn't have any money that time, so intelligence was useful. And if you don't have, you say, well, I'm not very intelligent. There's one more thing. Vacha, you can give your words. You can chant. You can preach. You can distribute books. You can read. So prana, artha, dhiya, vacha. This is the duty of every living being, to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others. And so our life is meant for sacrifice. And if you see a sage, if you see a saintly person, then his life is a symbol of sacrifice. And so this will help you, and it will help others. And instead of doing the 4 sinful activities, instead of eating meat, we can eat very nice prasadam offered to Krishna. And instead of having illicit sex, we can have lots of children for Krishna. Instead of taking intoxication, being intoxicated with drugs and alcohol, we can be intoxicated by chanting Hare Krishna. In fact, when we were hippies in the old days, 50 years ago or more, then there was a slogan the devotees had, stay high forever. So with drugs, you go up and you come down. But with chanting, you don't come down. You can stay high forever. And that we experienced. And that's why we could give up meat eating and all these other things. We could give them up so easily because we were able to be intoxicated with chanting Hare Krishna. That was our intoxication. And gambling, what about gambling? So Prabhupada has told us, you gamble this one life for Krishna. You have a life. You can do whatever you want with it. It's your life. Gamble it for Krishna. Have faith that yes, I will, if I gamble this life for Krishna, I will get eternal life, full of happiness, full of knowledge. I will go and live eternally in the spiritual world. There will be no more death, no more birth, no more old age, no more disease. I will be eternally 16 years or younger. I will be one of Krishna's friends in the spiritual world. That is our faith, and that's why we gamble our life for Krishna. That we have faith that we will, by sacrificing in this life, we will go to the spiritual world and join with Krishna and join the spiritual family. We have our families here, but we have our family there also, and they're waiting for us. Our families here, they finish after this life, but our family in the spiritual world, it's eternally there. Eternally there. We have our mother, father, friends, brothers, sisters, husband, wife, whatever. Everything is there. So this is our wealth, real spiritual wealth. What is spiritual wealth? Well, actually, Bhagavatam says, for the Brahmanas, forgiveness is the wealth. If you're a Brahmana, if you're a sage, then forgiveness is your wealth. And if you're a Kshatriya, Kshatriyas are beautiful when they're heroic and they don't retreat from battle. So Kshatriyas are the soldiers, the generals, when they are heroic. The Vaishyas, when they give their money for spiritual, cultural events. When they support the other three ashrams, the students, the retired people, and the sannyasis, they're all supported by the Vaishyas and the Grihastas. And then the Shudras, what is beautiful about the Shudras is when they are faithful in their duties to please their masters. So everybody has something they can do for Krishna. Another spiritual wealth, we have so much spiritual wealth here, you could go on forever. But one thing we don't normally think of as a wealth is offering obeisances. It's actually a very spiritual, very powerful spiritual wealth. When we offer obeisances, our mind goes down and our heart goes up. Usually in the material world, the mind is up and the heart is down. So in bhakti, the heart is up, the mind is down. Especially when we chant in the morning, when we chant our rounds. So obeisances means devotional feelings rule over the mind. Another spiritual wealth is prema, love of Godhead. And Sachinandan Swami in one seminar said, if we want prema, then we have to start with gratitude. We must be grateful. Gratitude is the first stepping stone to the goal of prema. Prepares the heart for love. A soft heart attracts the soft queen of bhakti, Radharani. So we have lots of wealth here. We have obeisances, we have Charanamrita, we have Tosti, we have these beautiful deities, we have the holy name, we have Bhagavatam. This is our spiritual wealth. And if we chant the holy name in this humble mood, calling out for Mother Radharani, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Like a child crying for mother, she will take us to her Krishna. So we've got a mother, Radharani, and she will help us when we try to chant sincerely. So then I'll end with Bhakti Vinod's last verse. Krishnanam Sudakoriyapan Juraya Bhakti Vinoda Pran Namabina Kichu Nahiko Ara Chora Bhuvana Mache. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name. There's nothing else to be had in all the 14 worlds. is fulfilled, the soul of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Vyasadeva is also telling us, drink Bhagavatam and you will get eternal life. This is, people are looking for the nectar of immortality. It's these books, it's Bhagavatam, it's Bhagavad-Gita, that's the nectar. So we have to drink deeply every day, the nectar of immortality, and then we will get our immortal life. So I'll stop here. If there's any questions, we can take questions. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, it's here.
Usually he gives it when he's sleeping.
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
So here it's saying that Amrish, the most fortunate personality, achieved inexhaustible, unlimited opulence, prosperity on earth, which is rarely achieved. So are we to understand that this is actually maybe one who's very, very fortunate? The one who's very, very fortunate achieves unlimited material opulence and various. I thought we were trying to go the other direction.
Yes. Well, his fortune, the verse states his fortune was not the unlimited opulence. He didn't care for the opulence, so that wasn't his fortune.
He didn't care for it, but he
yeah.
He achieved the rule of the entire world consistently.
Yeah.
Achieved inexhaustible, unlimited opulence and prosperity on earth.
But what was his fortune actually? Was it the opulence? No, his fortune was that he was a devotee. And he's the symbol of one who does all the 9 processes of devotional service. The word fortunate is there, but we should not think. We think, yeah, this is fortunate. He's got all the wealth. Everybody in this world will think, yeah, that's his fortune. But if you're a devotee, you will think, well, that's not his fortune. Because he said he didn't care for it, so that must be something else. Like Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone. The touchstone was in the garbage. So anybody would think, well, if you get a touchstone, you turn everything to gold. That's fortunate. But then he had a greater wealth than that. And so did Maharaj Ambarish. The word Mahabhaga, you can take it that was his fortune, but actually, then the verse says he didn't care for it. So, if he didn't care for it, that must not be his fortune. Something else must make him fortunate. Something else he's attached to. And that was his devotion, devotional service to Krishna. Yeah. I see sometimes devotees do get a lot of money like that and they go away then. It's not good for your spiritual life. So Krishna doesn't give it to you unless you can really, if you're sincere, then he won't give it to you if you can't handle it. Okay, yes, he has a question.
I see you just quoted the 10, 20, 25.
Yeah.
What canto is that?
10th canto. Yeah, 10, 22, 35.
Oh, 35.
10, 22, 35. Yeah, it's a very important verse. Krishna was glorifying the trees and how they were so magnanimous souls, the trees, because in the next chapter he will go to the Brahmanas and they wouldn't give charity. So he was glorifying the trees because they're giving all the charity, they're giving everything. But those Brahmanas, they in the next chapter, they wouldn't even give anything to Krishna. Okay.
See, devotee having some opulence.
Devotee has opulence.
It's always put in a situation one day, say you use in Krishna service.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good if you use in Krishna service. Right.
But you said that you will also drift away, go away. Sometimes pride comes and sometimes pride comes. Opulence. Pride, yeah. We go away. How to balance, how we can save ourselves?
How can you save yourself from, if you have opulence? Yeah, so you have to be introspective and ask yourself the question, first of all, am I progressing in spiritual life? And if not, why not? If there is problem in the family, if there is problem in your mind, if you're disturbed, then you have to ask your question, well, what's causing this disturbance? Then you can ask, am I using my money properly? Am I using my opulence properly? Am I using my body properly? Am I using my words properly? Am I using my intelligence properly? You can analyze and see. And if you do have money and you're not spending for Krishna anything, then that could be a problem. Because that's how you purify your wealth. When you have a job or something, then the way you purify it is by giving a donation to the temple. That's how you purify. Wealth is purified by giving to the devotees. So if you don't do that, then you may have a problem. Yes?
More than 30 years. He is in abroad and he has many properties in Vrindavan, Bombay and in his village. I asked him, why don't you finish and come here? You are brahmachari, you are not.
Who is this?
Marry. And why don't you come on? Yes, I'll come next time. Actually, almost crossed 30 years, but still he cannot come. Still he is trying to get money and getting properties.
Yeah.
And what do you do now? Brahmachari, you give the money, you give us the property here. What do you do? So many things. Why don't you come and join me and do some seva here? But sometimes cannot be understood by so much trying with money.
Okay, well that's a comment. I won't comment on that. That sounds like a comment, so why should I comment? Okay, any other questions? Jai, all glories to... Oops, one more, sorry.
So can you give some quotes what Prabhupada said regarding Vrindavan, living in Vrindavan? Now we see gradually in Vrindavan, even the pilgrims they come throughout the year. But most of the pilgrims they don't know the purpose of visiting Vrindavan.
Quotes about Vrindavan. I don't have any quotes handy, but you can read Devi Shakti's book about Vrindavan. She has lots of, it's full of quotes about Vrindavan. But one thing, when we first came to Vrindavan, I remember he told us don't associate with the Babajis. That's one thing I remember he told us. So they look he said they look renounced and they're vegetarian, but the monkeys are also don't wear clothes and they're vegetarian, but they have so many she-monkeys, so he told us how to live in Vrindavan.
You are not seeing now Babajis going and there. You see people coming. India is getting more and more modern.
Yeah, it's being covered. Vrindavan is being covered. Mayapur is opening. That's Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is Vrindavan will be covered. Mayapur will open. Mayapur will be for the Dham for Kali Yuga. Yes, difficult to live in Vrindavan. That's why you have to be simple-hearted. Have the service attitude. Come to serve the Dham. Don't come for a tourist vacation to Vrindavan. That, okay, my holidays will be in Vrindavan. No, it's not your holiday. It's Krishna's holiday and you're supposed to serve him. Yeah, come with the service attitude. That's how to live in Vrindavan. Okay? Jai, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.